Adesanya versus Paulo Costa is scheduled to take place at UFC 253 on the 26th of September, and I would like to bring my predictions and early thoughts of how I believe this fight will play out. Beginning with Paulo Costa. So Paulo Costa, in his last fight against Yoel Romero, did gas out, right? That's undeniable. You can't deny that. You can't argue that. That was the case. He gassed out. Many people thought that Yoel edged out that fight. I was leaning towards Yoel for that fight in the end. So the big question I have early, and the one that has to be posed, quite frankly, there's no other way around it, will Paulo Costa gas out in this fight? I think almost certainly yes. His genetic makeup and his overall physique does not allow him to go hard for the duration. Very similar with fighters like Francis Ngannou, Conor McGregor, Yoel, these guys who are either ripped and have tons of muscle or who possess these fast twitch muscle fibers. It does not allow you to see out the duration of a fight. And that's going to be the case for Paulo Costa. You look at him, he's so defined, there's so much muscle there, therefore so much oxygen that needs to be carried to all those muscles. So I think it's almost certain that Paulo Costa will gas in this fight. The big question for Izzy is, how does he deal with that? Can he survive the onslaught that Paulo Costa will bring? Because the level of hatred and anger and just genuine disdain that these two have for each other since Adesanya's comments on 9/11, since Adesanya flipped Paulo Costa the fingers, said fuck you after he beat Romero. They've been going back and forward on talk shows and radio interviews. So there's a lot of disdain there. There's a lot of general dislike between these two. And I think that will show its colours in this fight. For Adesanya, he needs to, in my opinion, attack the base of Paulo Costa. He needs to do something to get Paulo Costa's respect early. He needs to crack Paulo Costa with something. He has a big reach advantage over Paulo Costa. He should be utilising that. Izzy can't wilt under the pressure. He needs to remain focused, poised and composed. He needs to look for his counter shots and almost allow Paulo Costa to gas himself a little bit, because I don't see a finish happening in this fight. I'll be very honest, I'll be genuine, I don't see a finish happening. I think these two are very, very tough. I think they're both very smart fighters. I don't see someone being finished in this fight. I see this fight going the distance. However, if I was in Paulo Costa's corner, I'd be advising him to attack in bursts, right? Enter the pocket, throw a combination, maybe ending with that body kick or a leg kick, exit, recuperate, reset, and go back in. And I would recommend he repeat that process. Keep the octagon control, keep Izzy backed up if possible, because Izzy has a very high level of fight IQ. That would be the game plan that I would be pushing for if I was in the corner of Paulo Costa. For Izzy, use that great fight IQ. I mean, Izzy's fight IQ, in my opinion, is up there with the likes of Demetrius Johnson and John Jones. He's so intelligent. You know, he can just see pathways to victory before they present themselves, and he can just see things playing out. It's almost like savant syndrome in a way. You know, he can just picture things happening before they actually do, which is a special, special trait to have. So overall, I think, before I wrap up, I think the closest fight to represent how this fight between Paulo Costa and Adesanya might play out was Adesanya's fight against Kelvin Gastelum, right? So Gastelum was in Adesanya's face the entire fight, didn't let up, cracked Adesanya twice, hitting with a right hook as Adesanya was moving backwards, cracked him with that head kick, made Adesanya work. Admittedly, Adesanya said he wanted that fight. He wanted to prove to himself and to everybody else that he had this dog in him, that he could endure a fight like that. So take that in the direction that you will, make of that as you will. I'm leaning towards Adesanya. I think Paulo Costa may win round 2 and 3. I feel like Adesanya might edge out round 1, and then I think Costa will begin to gas going into the 4th, and Adesanya will pick up steam there, just start to outpoint Costa, tally up the significant strikes, pick Costa apart, and I think Israel Adesanya gets it done via unanimous decision. So, comment down below how you think this fight will play out. As always, Who are you leaning towards, Adesanya or Costa? Do let me know. I understand that Paulo Costa has the slightly larger backing heading into this fight, which I'm not surprised about at all, because I feel like people have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Israel Adesanya, to be honest, particularly after the 9/11 comments, as aforementioned. Just that goofy, disrespectful style that he has. I just feel like you either love him or you don't, and I feel like a lot of people really do love Paulo Costa. But I'm going to wrap this video up. Stop the rambling there. If you enjoyed this video, as always, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It's always a bonus. Lets me know you enjoy the content I'm putting out. And I will see you guys in the next video. See you later, boys.